So here are some steps that you should take to prepare for a possible second lockdown that could impact the holidays. What's up everyone, David here with Free2Be, and thank you for joining me for another video. Now today I want to talk about a few steps that everyone can take to prepare themselves in case we go into another lockdown, specifically around the holidays. Now a lot of other countries have already gone into lockdowns. I believe Canada has already imposed another 28-day lockdown. There are also countries in Europe that have also imposed similar lockdown restrictions. So what should we do here in the US? How should we prepare for that in case it were to happen again? Well, that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. And there's just a few steps that you can take to prepare for a situation that could impact you financially around the holiday season. But before I get started, if you're new to my channel, I cover financial literacy here in an effort to track my progress to financial independence. And hopefully by doing that, I'm creating valuable content that others can use in their financial independence journey as well. So if you are new to the channel or haven't done so already, please take a moment and just click the subscribe button down below. It's a completely free action to take and it really does help support the channel. And if you aren't new and have already subscribed, thanks for checking out this video. All right, so let's hypothetically say that our government did decide to unify and impose basically a nationwide lockdown. What should we do? What steps should we take in order to be, adequately prepared for such an event? Well, look, there's nothing new here. And the first step that you should take is probably something that you've heard on my channel or other financial literacy channels, or just generally from, a parent or someone you trust to give you financial advice. And that is to keep saving. Save as much as possible. Because in the event that things shut down and, we lose a job or a partner loses a job, something like that were to happen, we want to make sure we have enough savings to carry us at least 5 or 6 months, in terms of covering the living expenses we have in our day-to-day life. And again, hopefully with the news of these new vaccines coming out, any lockdown we would have wouldn't last more than a couple months. But honestly, the economic impacts, the impacts on your job, on certain careers, could be longer lasting than that. So you want to make sure that you can save as much money as possible right now while you still can, just to set yourself up and give yourself enough of a cushion should something crazy happen. All right, so the next step you want to take, and this is specifically true around gift giving around the holidays, is to make sure you are or become a bargain shopper. Don't just buy things on an impulse or purchase the first thing you find online. Do some shopping and look for discounted prices, because honestly, this whole year, retailers have been discounting their goods, specifically online retailers or retailers that have had a big and broad, brick and mortar business model before are now moving into the online space. They have tons of inventory, and so they're discounting their prices. Those margins that, they were marking things up at 400, 500%, they're scaling back, understanding that they're not going to necessarily make as much profit this year, but they still need to get rid of some of those goods, some of those inventories that they've just been sitting on for months and months. So spend some time, take the extra effort and just look and bargain hunt, because honestly, any money that you do save purchasing gifts for family members and friends is money that you can put back into your savings account that will help you should you lose your job or should you face some kind of financial hardship over the next 6 months. Now, the next step you want to take is to start working and focusing on improving your credit score. Even if it's high already, you can still work on improving it more by paying down some existing debts or just, figuring out ways to improve the score. If you don't have enough established credit, start establishing it, because ultimately, if you were put in an unfortunate situation where you lost your job, didn't have enough savings, if you have a good credit score, that can still help you carry on and move forward by taking out a personal loan. Now, obviously, you don't want that to be the first resort. You don't want to necessarily take on more debt to sustain your lifestyle, because if push comes to shove and you honestly don't have any other way to take care of yourself and your family in terms of housing, clothing, food, these kind of essential needs, then maybe taking a personal loan wouldn't be as bad of an idea. And in order to do that, you need to make sure that your credit score is as high as possible so that you can lock in a low interest rate so that it doesn't necessarily impact you in such a negative way to cripple you for years to come. And with that really just comes the factor of clearing out any debt you have, making sure that you can minimize that as much as possible. Because look, a lot of us have been fortunate enough to keep our jobs during this entire pandemic, and what we've learned is we've been able to cut out a lot of expenses that weren't really necessary to our life. personally, I haven't gone and bought my cup of coffee. I haven't gone out to lunch as much or dinners. That's a lot of money that I save every single month, and I've been able to use that money to pay down debt. So you can do the same thing now, whether it's paying down your mortgage, paying down student loans, personal loans, credit cards. Just focus a little bit on paying down debts while you can. Now, the next step you want to take to ensure that you have a good financial footing should a lockdown go into effect is to make sure that you're contributing as much as possible to your retirement accounts now. While you still have a job, while you're fortunate enough to be bringing in income, increase those contributions. Because God forbid, should you be in a position where you don't have your job for 6 months, maybe a year, you're not going to be able to make retirement contributions then, because your focus at that time is going to shift to needs and necessities, and you're not necessarily going to be thinking about retirement during that period. So while you still can, it's really important to contribute and keep contributing to your retirement accounts. And this could be work-sponsored accounts like your 401k. If you have investment accounts, invest in those. If you're investing in funds, whatever it is, if it's just cash in a savings account, just invest as much as you can and put aside as much as you can for your retirement. Now, the next step you want to take, if you can, is to look for some extra income opportunities, whether that's doing, a part-time job with another company, or if you're just doing, a little gig work for yourself, whatever it may be, you can really use those extra funds wherever you see fit. So if you need some extra money for your savings, you can do that. Or if you need some extra money to buy gifts for loved ones and friends and family, you can do that too. But having that extra income will really give you a boost during this time. And there's tons of opportunities. I mean, believe it or not, there are retailers, grocery stores, there are places that are actual physical places that are still hiring. You can also become, a Lyft driver or an Uber driver or an Uber Eats driver. You can do any kind of driving services like that, delivery services. Maybe you're a photographer, you can work on something like that for people. But there are opportunities to be had to make some extra money. So while you can, go ahead and do that. Now, obviously be safe about it, but try to get some extra income in through the door, because ultimately, if something were to happen, that would really help you carry over and bridge the gap for you over the next few months. And finally, the last step you're going to want to take to kind of help secure your footing should another lockdown go in place and should your job be compromised is to search for work now. Expand your job search. If you haven't been thinking about your next opportunity, right now is as good a time as any to start looking out there and seeing what's available in the job market. Maybe your field isn't as impacted by this pandemic right now, so why not explore other opportunities where you can increase your income, your experience, put yourself in a position for the job after the next one. I mean, look, it's never a bad time to search for opportunities, and this is the perfect time, right? We've all faced some type of challenge during this crisis, but that doesn't mean that your career should be put on hold. That doesn't mean you should just be hanging on to the job you have with every last breath, thinking that this is all I'm going to be able to have. You shouldn't have that approach at all. You should not put your career or your life on pause during this. Obviously, we want to be safe about how we approach things, but I think searching for a job is completely okay. You want to see what kind of opportunities are out there, so spend some time, brush up your resume, and start exploring the job market. There's definitely no harm in doing that. And ultimately, what that could mean is that companies that are looking for people to fill roles might have a better financial footing than the company you're with right now. So spend some time. If you're doing it casually, do it casually. Look for jobs, look on job boards, talk to friends, network, whatever you can do to see what's out there. All right, guys, well, that's all I had for this video. Did you enjoy it? What are your thoughts on some of these steps? Do you have any to add to these? If so, let me know in the comments down below. If you're new to the channel or haven't done so already, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Again, it's completely free to do, and it just supports the channel. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and we'll see you next time.